You love Conley and Devereaux, the halfback Schofield, the captain, and Edwards. Forwards Harrison, Dermott, Fairbank. That's how they line up on the park. Clark off the back of the scrum, Betts and Joint in the second row. A lot of experience there, in particular a lot of Wembley experience. The New Zealand side, Morven Edwards at fullback, Halligan and Hoppy on the wings, Iro and Watson in the centres, Namu, the new cap, Good Luck Jean, Gary Freeman the captain, Lomax, Mann and Stewart up front, Kearney and Pongia in the second row, Nikau off the back, the coach is Howie Tamati. Jean Namu up against the veteran Gary Schofield. That's the key to the success of it today, according to most of the critics here. Freddie Truman, the great England cricketer, enjoying the sunshine at Wembley. We hope you're set for a big one on One World of Sport this morning. Jonathan Davis ready to get things underway. 30 years of age, his 10th test match for Great Britain after a very distinguished career playing for Wales in rugby union.
It looks nice and warm down there, Clarkie, in that sunshine. It's absolutely perfect, this ground. It's the best I've ever seen Wembley. I think it's because it's at the start of the year. Normally when they play the Challenge Cups and whatnot, it's towards the end of the year, at the end of the footy season, and they've already played numerous soccer matches on the ground and various other sports that they have, but it's absolutely sensational out there today. It looks great, but it must be -5 up here.
History! The first ever test between New Zealand and Great Britain is underway at Wembley Stadium. Johnny Lomax. Morven Edwards recovered from the flu that kept him out of the Wigan game last weekend. Kearney cleans up for the Kiwis, 32 metres out from the line. Brent Stewart. Halligan. John Devereaux. Phil Clark.
Phil Clark, one of the Wigan players out there who apparently have made a pact that they're going to make sure they win this match today after losing to the Kiwis last Sunday. They didn't take that too kindly, so they formed some sort of pact, so we'll see if they can do it.
David Watson.
It's been a good start from New Zealand so far, nice and positive.
Dennis Betts, and that was the ploy we were expecting. Betts to run wide. Edwards. So another positive opening set of 6, this time from Great Britain. Morven Edwards back inside his own 20. Runs straight into Carl Harrison.
Great Britain have got the advantage field position-wise at this stage of the game, so it's important the Kiwis get through these first few sets of 6 tackles without making an error, so they can gradually work their way up the field, get a good kick in, and control that vital field position down at Great Britain's end.
Freeman, Nikau, swinging arm and back play. Edwards on Freeman. Beautiful ball from Freeman. And Ponga has left it behind. There's a knock-on. Mistake from New Zealand. Ponga hit the gap but couldn't control the ball.
Great pass from Gary Freeman, but already we've seen a little bit of a confrontation between Freeman and Edwards. There's a pretty strong tackle there, so unfortunately Quinton unable to hang on to the ball, but Gary Freeman's got to make sure that he doesn't get sucked in by Sean Edwards, because Edwards, without any doubt, is going to try and ruffle him up and try and get Gary to lose his concentration.
Sean Edwards brings Jonathan Davis in from fullback. Kearney has him.
And that's why Malcolm Reilly's picked him at fullback, Clarkie, for his attacking skills. We'll see a lot of him blooming up into the back line.
Fairbank to play it. Edwards Schofield in the headgear. Long ball out to Devereaux. Slips as he tried to come inside Daryl Halligan. Edwards, Harrison, 11 metres out. Final tackle on the way for Great Britain. Edwards, Davis kicked it into the legs of David Watson. The Kiwis come away with it. Brent Stewart, chased by Edwards. That's the 20-metre line. Pongia 30 metres out.
Those British forwards going on gang, tackling 2 or 3 under the tackle. If New Zealand can play the ball quick enough, the openings will be there on the outside. Gary Freeman certainly copped a heavy knock then.
The penalty goes to New Zealand.
It was a heavy knock he copped, and it looked like a little bit of a forearm to me also.
Daryl Halligan with the first scoring opportunity in the first test match at Wembley. Live on One World of Sport. The Lion Red replay. Phil Clark looked to have the elbow into Gary Freeman's face on that replay.
Well, it's not normally in Phil Clark's makeup to do that sort of thing, so he'll be kicking himself, and so will Malcolm really be fuming up there, because they've given Superboot Daryl the first opportunity.
40 metres out, just to the left of the sticks. Not only has he been in fine goal-kicking form on this tour, but Daryl Halligan really deserved his spot on the wing because of his general play.
He's been one of the best players in the Kiwi squad so far. He's had a sensation to really hit a purple patch of form.
His first kick at Wembley. Waved away.
Daryl won't be pleased with that, because he thinks those sort of kicks really are bread and butter kicks. He had plenty of distance, didn't quite have the accuracy, so Daryl won't be too pleased with himself, but he'll make up with a strong run straight down into them here.
Dwayne Mann up over halfway.
And a good, valuable run that from Dwayne Mann. That's what he's got to do. Keep trying to turn the defence around the ruck. Turn it around.
Kearney. Freeman. Gene Namu. No room to move. Clark was right on top of the youngster.
Well, they see Gene Namu as a weakness in their lineup. They've made a mistake thinking along those lines, I believe, but they're certainly going to put the kid under plenty of pressure.
Final tackle, Edwards, Lomax, Edwards. I don't think they realise that the handover is next.
Bit of disorganisation. Gary Freeman had been out calling for the ball, wanting to put it up in the air, but obviously there's a lot of noise out here, a lot of excitement, and plenty of nerves at the moment in both camps.
Robinson, sensational game against the Kiwis for Wigan. First cap for Great Britain. Fairbank.
He's not a very big man, Carl Fairbank, so it's up to the Kiwi forwards to really make it tough for him out there today. He's playing in the front row, so Toddy knows what it's like to have a second row up there. The front rows like getting hold of them.
Betts allowed to free the ball. Newlove. Paul Newlove. Touch judge is on. Now he's pointing to one of the Great Britain players. Appears to be something in back play. Martin Dermott being spoken to. The Kiwis get the penalty.
Well, he's been a costly player for Great Britain in recent games, especially against Australia. He can't keep his mouth shut or his hands down, and it proved very costly against Australia. I hope he carries on with the same sort of thing out here today.
0-0 at Wembley Stadium. Carl Harrison waiting for the Kiwi onslaught. Namu, oh, they put it down on the first tackle. A planned move. The defence was up and put plenty of pressure on them. Robinson comes away with it. The crowd appeal for a head high. The referee says Gary Freeman tackle him around the chest. Connolly. Fairbank. Up over halfway. Harrison. Edwards. Wrapped up by Pongia.
Kiwi players certainly up in front of the referees, allowing them to get away with it at the moment, but they are offside.
The bomb from Davis, a good one too. Pressure on Morven Edwards. Well, it's a line ball. Who's got it, Devereaux or Edwards? Good take from Edwards, but what a great kick from Davis.
It was a sensational kick, but Morven Edwards did really well. Under a lot of pressure from John Devereaux there. Kevin Iroh's first clearing touch. A lot of pressure on Kevin's shoulders today also.
Morven Edwards copped an accidental knee in the back there as well. Well, I hope it was accidental. He's receiving some treatment in back plate as Johnny Lomax takes on the Great Britain pack. Freeman forced to go to dummy half. Taken by Robinson, 40 metres out from the New Zealand line. David Watson. The kick straight down to Davis. Namu has him, as well as Stewart. Kearney in there as well. Edwards to Betts. Oh, big hit. Lomax over the top, man underneath. The Kiwi mascot enjoying the atmosphere as well. Clark comes away almost to halfway. Dermott. Edwards. Joint, the second rower. First joint from the St Helens Club. Final tackle on the way. Morven Edwards on the 20-metre mark. Taken by Sean Edwards. Halligan. Stewart. Pongia. Quentin Pongia up towards halfway, over the halfway mark in fact. Kearney. Stephen Kearney. 35 metres out from the Great Britain line. Freeman. There's the bomb. No pressure though on Davis.
New Zealand have got good field position. They've got to try and force an error. They've got to get back behind the referee and then charge up and come up with some big hitting defence, force that vital error.
Robinson to the 20-metre mark. Harrison. Most have predicted a tight opening test match.
These forwards are just trying one another out at the moment. It hasn't got into any flow. They're just prodding and pushing one another.
Good dummy. Gary Schofield, the captain. That ball was forward, but play on. Namu cleans up, but it was Schofield that opened them up down on the left flank. Watson. Nikau. They have him ball and all.
And they're great tactics from New Zealand. Counter-attack, open the ball up straight away, try and expose the defence when they've haven't got themselves organised. That's great counter-attack.
Johnny Lomax. Knock on.
But we've already seen how dangerous Gary Schofield is. They say he's out of form. Everyone says he's not playing well for Leeds at the moment, but he certainly shows the silky skills he does have when he sells that dummy. He's got a great chip and chase game. Unfortunately, just a little bit of mistiming from Johnny Lomax coming onto the ball end. Copped a good serve also, trying to pick the ball up. There's no beg your pardons out there. This is Test football.
Jason Robinson.
It's ironical, you see Jason Robinson had to come into the middle of the field looking for the ball. Been no opportunities whatsoever for him so far. Been a lot of one-out play from the Great Britain side. They're just trying to bash their way through New Zealand.
Fairbank.
If they keep it up, that's what they're going to cop. Willem Pongi is in a dangerous mood over here this current series. Been tackling well.
Betts. Final tackle. 0-all. Dermott throws a dummy out to Robinson. Got a little chip kick in. Dwayne Mann comes away with it to the 20-metre mark. New Zealand end of the ground.
Both teams playing very well at the moment, Clarkie. Trying one another out. There's no openings at the moment. That was a very strong hit then on Dave Watson. Both centres having to come in off the ruck and pick up the ball because the defence of both sides moving up so fast, the opportunities just aren't opening.
Stewart. Well, Tawa Nika here to take his eye off the ball there. Uncharacteristic mistake by the New Zealand loose forward in his 16th test today.
Yeah, just a lapse in concentration from Tawara there, coming onto the ball under no pressure. The referee doing a great job at the moment, Clarkie. You can see him talking to the players. He's nominating them, calling their names out and trying to make it easy for them. Here we go. No one's at home.
Sean Hoppy takes it well, but good chasing from Jonathan Davis, but it's a penalty to New Zealand.
New Zealand lucky to come up with a penalty there because it certainly exposed them once again. The chip in behind the line, Jonathan Davies in front of the kicker. In front of the kicker, he was offside, but we've been exposed again. That chip in behind the line has proved lethal against New Zealand. Got to try and watch that.
Lomax.
Well, that's a bad mistake, losing it on the first tackle. Greg McCullum laying down the law to Johnny Lomax, telling Johnny he's been giving him a fair go so far.
Gary Conley. Today also on One World of Sport we start Uvic's MVP.
Great Britain looking very dangerous at the moment because they've got the vital field position. That's the thing. The game's being played in New Zealand's half. New Zealand can't afford to keep that up for too long. They've got to try and get down Great Britain's end of the field.
Schofield. Newlove. Very powerful, strong running centre, Paul Newlove from Bradford Northern. His 11th test match. Sean Edwards. There's the kick in behind again for Jason Robinson. He gets the bounce. Try! New Zealand has been exposed again with the kick and chase. And Jason Robinson, the 19-year-old new cap from Wigan, the only uncapped player in the Great Britain lineup today, scores in the 17th minute. Great Britain 4, New Zealand 0.
Well, if you're playing the game at your own end of the field all the time, you're always going to be vulnerable to a chip and chase. Perfectly weighted kick in from Sean Edwards. And Jason Robinson, a great sensational player. That took some scoring, that. He was well covered by Sean Hoppy. He got out of the tackle and dived over for a great try. This has come solely from, well, it was touch and go, but he did get it down before the line went out, before the flag went out, according to the touch judge. Great try from Great Britain. New Zealand has been under pressure, playing the game at the wrong end of the field. They've got to improve that field position. That's what Howie Tamati will be sending out.
Jonathan Davis centimetres in from the far touch. In his first season with the Warrington club, plenty of goals in test matches. Waved away. No goal.
Been a good start for Great Britain. This was a fantastic try, similar to Gary Freeman's style of running across the front of the ruck. A perfectly weighted kick. Sean Hoppy really under a lot of pressure, had to turn around. Touch and go, but it's on the scoreboard.
4 points to 0. Great Britain over the Kiwis. Dennis Betts, the 20-metre mark. Edwards, Robinson, the try scorer.
New Zealand using a very short line of defence also. Great Britain will be prepared to open it up in their own danger area. So New Zealand's sliding efficiency is going to be well tested today.
This is Chris Joint.
I was talking to Mike McLennan last night. Mike's got a big rap on that Chris Joint. Said he is a fine player.
From the St Helens club. The Kiwis play St Helens on Thursday morning New Zealand time in their next tour match. Edwards. It's a big kick in. Morven Edwards on the 20-metre mark.
Looking down there at Kevin Iro-Kaki, and I'm just watching him walk around. I'm just wondering if he's fully fit. Looks like he could be carrying an injury to me. Knows this ground well. He's had some fine games out here, and with his size and strength, New Zealand really needs him to have a big game today, but it looks like he could be carrying a bit of a knock.
Gary Freeman gets the kick in. Davis allows it to go over the touchline. Great Britain will get the feet into the scrum inside their own 20-metre mark.
Well, it was a good kick then. Howie Carmody would be a little worried. They're all wide for sound nowadays. Probably listen to bebop, I suppose, is it? Or is it rap? Is that what they do now?
You should know. You've been down there on the coach's bench.
It was a good kick from Gary Freeman, giving them a valuable field position, but they've got to they've got to make sure they back it up with good defence and try and force that error. They haven't been down this end of the field with the ball. They've got to try and force an error. Great Britain's getting out far too easy. Their centres both working well, getting into the ruck area and carting the ball away, taking the pressure off their forwards.
Schofield, long ball out to Robinson.
It was a great ball out to Robinson then, but Sean Hoppy up to the job.
Edwards, Harrison, allowed to offload. Fairbank, Davis left it behind, knocked back. They want it down the blind. Edwards, Betts, back to Edwards, wrapped up by Kearney. Touch judges on the field. Brent Stewart's going to be called out. Something happened in back play. Jason Robinson, the right winger from Wigan. Dean Bell rates him as possibly one of the greatest things to happen for the Wigan club for quite some years. And already a try today in his debut.
New Zealand's giving away a silly penalty there. Brent Stewart becoming involved in back play. They can't afford to give away those silly penalties because they're not enjoying any field position at the moment. And against this British side, which is playing well, they'll find themselves under more pressure.
Harrison, 22 metres out. Great Britain have it at the moment, 4 points to 0. One World of Sport live at Wembley. Fairbank. Edwards, the little general, thrown into the turf by Brent Stewart.
The South Island special, that tackle.
Schofield, Newlove. Gee, takes plenty of stopping, doesn't he, Paul Newlove?
Well, he's a big, strong, strapping fella.
Edwards, back to nobody. There's the knock on.
This is too easy at the moment for the Great Britain side. They're starting to hand the ball around like basketball. New Zealand's got to get some sting in their defence, and they've got to get these British players looking. They're being allowed to stand and pass, knowing that they're not under pressure. Territorial advantage there, showing well up in favour of Great Britain, and that's the story of the game.
We haven't seen the New Zealand backs in action yet. Nikau, Gene Namu, the Test new boy, hasn't had any quality ball. Now it's Iro. Johnny Lomax, 30 metres out from the New Zealand line. Freeman, he wants to play it the other end of the field, and why not? Good clearing kick from Gary Freeman sends Davis back inside his own 20.
And a great chase from New Zealand. A great chasing team up there. That was a good kick, good chase. One of the best parts or plays of New Zealand's game so far.
Phil Clark. Harrison. Oh, Nikau lunged at him, but Harrison bumped him off.
For someone who's supposed to be out of form, that Harrison's doing a great job.
Betts ranging out wide. Final tackle on the wave. Edwards looking for open spaces. Halligan goes back inside his own 20. Hero. "30 metres out from the New Zealand line now. Stewart. Gary Freeman. Freeman! Into touch.
Well, that's a shame because New Zealand had 6 more tackles to play with then. Gary Freeman cutting across the field, but unfortunately getting forced into touch. They're hanging off Gary Freeman because they don't know what he's going to do next. He's got so many options every time he runs, Gary, but unfortunately that time he was forced out.
His debut in 1986 against Australia. His 50th appearance today in the black and white jumper, the 35th Test. Robinson. Connolly.
He doesn't look very strong, Connolly, but you saw there an example of just how strong he is, able to spin and bust out of tackles.
Joint. Edwards. Taken by Stewart.
He's controlling the game well for Great Britain at the moment, taking the first pass most of the time, doing a great job. Every time he gets caught with the ball and has forced to make a tackle, his forwards then just take it back to the middle, settle things down, and away they go again.
Martin Dermott. Back to Fairbank, the front rower. Held on the 6th tackle, the handover to New Zealand.
Well, that was a let-off for New Zealand because Great Britain certainly had a big line-up, unmarked, right out on the right-hand side of their field.
Gary Freeman looking for the gap. It closed that time. Johnny Lomax.
Kiwi forwards running one out at the moment. That's why we're not getting much of a roll on, because they're easy pickings. Not supporting one another as they have done in previous games.
Nikau. Hongia. Good ball to Kearney.
That's better.
Inside to Great Britain, however. There was support on the inside. The pass went to ground.
But the break was made. That was the key. Even though New Zealand lost the ball then, it was better support play and the break was made.
The line red replay. Quentin Pongia teaming up well with his second row partner, Stephen Kearney. Back live though. Gary Connolly. The kick and chase. Robinson again. Try. What a day for Jason Robinson. We're only into the first half, and on his Test debut, he has a double already. Great Britain 8, New Zealand 0. Again, the Kiwis have been exposed with the kick and chase. Jason Robinson, mark his name down. He is a sensation.
Well, great outside back play. Gary Connolly putting the little kick through. A little bit of a drop kick. The straight out speed of Jason Robinson then got in front of Sean Hoppy. Well, I don't know if he forced that ball down or not, but once again it's on the scoreboard. But it was a good break right out wide. Gary Connolly, he's the man. The little kick and chip and chase through. It's exposed New Zealand once again. It's a hard... Yeah, that was a fair try. It was a hard tactic to counter that, because your outside backs have got to turn around in a hurry, and Great Britain is using it very well. Obviously, Malcolm really has looked at the previous games that the Kiwis have played in, looked at what's happened to them in the past, how they have had a number of tries scored against them using that particular ploy, and it's working again today. 2 kicks, 2 tries.
Jonathan Davis looking for the extra 2. It's waved away. No goal. But they're going to be full of confidence now here at Wembley Stadium in London after 29 minutes of the opening test match. Great Britain 8, New Zealand 0.
Phil Clark looming up out in the backs there, getting a good pass away. He broke that tackle. That was the key. He broke that tackle. Was 3 onto him. He got away. Gary Connolly then showing great skills. Drew Morgan Edwards kicked the ball. After that it was shut the gate. Jason Robinson, too much speed.
And now Betts breaks out before losing his footing. Clark. Edwards. Fairbank. Harrison up to halfway in 3 tackles. They've made about 20 metres. Doing it easy at the moment, the Great Britain pack, and there's a good kick from Sean Edwards.
Well, great professional play then from Sean Edwards. Went through their 5 tackles very well, finished off with a good kick into the danger zone of the Kiwis, and now they're going to try and back up their great attacking play with some good strong defence. Sean Edwards giving them plenty out there. Gizmo, his nickname is. Doesn't shut up all day, drives the forwards mad, just keeps barking at their heels all day.
6-1 advantage to Great Britain in the scrum department. Everything going with the feed. Namu taken by Schofield.
Schofield did well then, got outside Namu. Gene Namu had nowhere to go.
Hemanero back to Morgan Edwards. Stewart bounced out of 1.
Well done, Brent Stewart. Good strong run, good relieving run.
Johnny Lomax has put it down, and Conley swoops on it. The Kiwis making too many mistakes. Harrison. The double round, Edwards and Dermott from the Wigan club. Fairbank. Edwards. Schofield. Harrison, who was touched by a New Zealander. They have another 6 tackles. The Kiwi defence really being tested again.
New Zealand is under pressure.
Penalty. This should be an easy 2 points for Jonathan Davis. Gary Freeman saying that he couldn't.
Well, Gary was trying to hold the mark then. Jonathan Davis crawling forward. Really, it was a tough call on Gary Freeman, because it could have, penalty could have gone the other way with Davis getting off the mark. But the thing is, New Zealand are buckling under a little pressure at the moment. They've got to regain their composure. Gary Freeman is trying all the tricks he knows at the moment. Every time he gets the ball, he's causing a lot of problems running his angle runs. But we've got to try and get good backline play. We've got to get support play through the forwards, but most importantly, we've got to get field position. That is what Howie Tamati would be looking for at the moment. He will be sending messages out saying we've got to try and get some field position. The game has been played totally at New Zealand's end of the field, and if you make an error there, you're in trouble.
Easy pickings for Jonathan Davis. The Lions fans roar. 10 points to 0. Great Britain, 2 tries to Jason Robinson, the 1 penalty to Jonathan Davis. 6 minutes to half-time.
Well, this game has been played at a frantic pace, and the time seems to be going very quickly, but New Zealand has got to strike back, and they can only do it. Howie will be very worried there. Not very often you have to shade your eyes from the sun here over here in Great Britain, but it always seems to shine here at the great old white lady at Wembley Stadium. It's a fantastic old lady, always does the right thing with the weather.
Jason Robinson. Harrison. Edwards. Again. A good clearing kick. Most of the play has been inside New Zealand's half. Good chasing from Garrett Conley. Freeman. Hoppy. Brent Stewart. New Zealand have had to do most of the tackling. Johnny Lomax almost to halfway. Freeman, Nikau ranging wide. Taken well by Chris Joint. Stephen Kearney, Gene Namu. Intercepted by New Love.
New Zealand tying themselves up in knots at the moment, unfortunately. A little bit of disorganisation, had the opportunity to kick the ball there a couple of times, but they didn't go. They pushed the pass just that once too often. Very lucky not to get that ball intercepted.
And they come away with the feet into the scrum, so they'll get another 6. Penalty to New Zealand.
Great Britain breaking out of the scrum too quickly then.
Halligan, the touch, 35 metres out.
Johnny Lomax coming up with some good charging runs, but he's been equally well met by good strong defence. Great run again then from Stephen Kearney. Only knows one way to go, straight and hard.
Namu with the double round. Freeman brings Morgan Edwards into it. Chance for New Zealand.
That's what we've been waiting for. Outstanding back play.
Watson, Freeman. Pongia back to Gary Freeman. Inside, no, he throws the dummy. And into touch.
Great play, Gary Freeman. He's a genius. He's in sensational form in this tour. He's totally mesmerising the Great Britain defence. Gave Sean Edwards a bit of a don't get in my way. Sean's given him a bit of lip at the moment. Gary's just got to settle down. He's been in outstanding form. That was a sensational slicing angle run. A great dummy. Turned 2 British defenders around. Couldn't quite get over the line, but it was great play.
The touch stage in reporting, pushing and shoving. between Edwards and Freeman.
Sean Edwards always angry on the world when he plays here at Wembley.
Well, that run from Freeman.
Well, the run from Freeman was set up with two good strong runs from Lomax and Steve Kearney. That gave them the opportunity to open the ball out wide.
And that will give the Kiwis some heart for the second half. They're down by 10 points to 0. One World of Sport live at Wembley, the opening test match.
All they need to do is stay down this end of the field and put some pressure on Great Britain. Great Britain really haven't been under any pressure at all down their own end.
Chris Joint. Edwards. Back to Davis.
And that is a big kick. That's over 60 metres on the fly. Morgan Edwards had to go right back to his own goal line to bring that ball back. It's a great kick from Jonathan Davis. And it's been backed up with great chasing as well.
Halligan. Freeman. Namu. Nikau. Stewart. 40 out. Great Britain dominating possession. Johnny Lomax almost to halfway. It's a good kick from Gene Namu.
Yeah, good kick from Gene Namu then. Too wide of the ruck, kicking the ball. All the chasers are on side straight away using that particular tactic.
Well, that is half-time in the first test at Wembley Stadium. The first time New Zealand has met Great Britain at this famous ground. Gary Schofield, the Great Britain captain, he'll be delighted with his team's first half effort. 10 points to 0, a double to Jason Robinson and a penalty to Jonathan Davis. Gary Freeman went close to scoring for the Kiwis just before half-time. That will give them some hope as they go to the dressing room. The long walk back to the room. Breaking away from David Watson. So 2 tries to none. Dennis Betts. One World of Sport live. That's Fairbank.
Unfortunately, the BBC missed the start with their pictures, so we're underway now.
Final tackle coming up for Great Britain. Edwards. This time the sun into the Kiwis' eyes. Halligan comes away with it. Watson.
Good quick passing out to Watson. He had a little bit of space, but he looked dangerous. Now Kevin Iro with a little bit of room to move on, but having to come down the centre of the field again. We've got to get Kevin out on the edge. That's where he's most dangerous.
Brent Stewart 40 metres out. The opening 10 minutes of the second half, crucial for New Zealand. Nikau on the angle. That ball was forward, but Pongia couldn't control it.
New Zealand trying to put something on amongst the forwards, but unfortunately getting their timing wrong.
The pass is too big by Gary Schofield. Devereux had no chance of getting to that. Gary Schofield hasn't been setting the world on fire at Leeds, but a big match player. Hero the double round with Gene Namu. Dwayne Mann. Hoppy 20 metres out.
New Zealand passing with far more confidence now. They've gained that field position. They've got a backline set.
Hero away from, almost from New Love. Back inside to Namu, but the pass from Hero to Namu was forward.
They're playing with more confidence now, the New Zealand backline, and looking dangerous. The opportunities started to open up. Good pass in from Gene Namu.
Conley. Fairbank.
He's causing plenty of trouble out there. Big Harrison offloading the ball. Sean Edwards backing up as he always does. New Love also getting through some pretty feeble defence that from New Zealand. They've got to tighten up right out wide.
Devereaux in from the wing. Final tackle on the way. Edwards gives him plenty of air again. Good kick. Morven Edwards. Knocked back. Freeman was alongside to recover.
Morven Edwards under plenty of pressure there. It was a great midfield bomb from Sean Edwards. Gary Freeman relieving the situation. Getting his shirt off, feels a bit warm out there. Showing off his suntan that he gets over in Sydney.
Carl Harrison penalised. Halligan, as you have a look at it again on the line bread replay, the referee called held. Harrison wanted to go on with it.
Really, that's the only blemish Harrison's come up with so far. He's had a fine game. Johnny Lomax charging into the line there, but really not supported. New Zealand have got to run in 2s and 3s through the forwards. Brent Stewart doing exactly the same. A good run over the advantage line, but they've got to support one another.
Hongia. Kearney. And Nikau looming up on the inside. Freeman, Namu, inside to Watson. Nikau, he was crunched by Fairbank. Freeman, there's the bomb. Straight across field, Hoppy, back to Hero, still the final tackle. Stewart puts it on the ground. Davis comes away with it for Great Britain.
Great scrambling play from Great Britain then. New Zealand looking a little disorganised, not being able to get a good kick away.
Devereaux.
Very, very strong relieving run. No marker. Picks up another 10 metres. New Zealand in a bit of disarray at the moment. They've got to get themselves organised. Can't afford to let this man, Gary Schofield, start ruling the roost.
Great Britain have it by 10 points to 0. Fairbank. Edwards sends Darryl Halligan back inside his own 20. Good chasing. Betts and his Wigan teammate Clark. Kearney. Namu. Out on the full. Oh, big defence. Gary Schofield, the fullback's not home. Freeman gets there first. Dwayne Mann. Brent Stewart. 40 metres out. From the New Zealand line, Johnny Lomax. Jonathan Davis, taken by Nikau, 10 metres out from the Great Britain line. Great Britain warming some of their reserves up. Robinson. Day to remember for Jason Robinson. 2 tries on debut. Great Britain 10, New Zealand 0. 9 minutes into the second half. As the British reserves warm up. Front of the crowd between 30 and 40,000. Cavalero from dummy half. Out of 1. Sonny Nicol, Great Britain reserve, receiving some advice. So we could see him in the match before too long. New Zealand desperate for points. Freeman. Kearney. He is proving a handful for this Great Britain defence. Freeman. Watson. Stewart. Final tackle on the way. Nikau, the kick and chase. The Davis is back there, into the field of play. Janice Betts. Now, Kearney is going to be called out here. It'll be a penalty to Great Britain. Fairbank. Schofield. Final tackle on the way. Morgan Edwards left it behind. Devereaux says thank you very much. Try to Great Britain. John Devereaux. Johnny on the spot. His 4th try for Great Britain. 14 points to 0. The Lion Red replay, a real horror show for Morven Edwards looking into the sun. He got his hands to it. Devereaux was there, thank you. So the British fans alive and kicking at Wembley. Jonathan Davis 1 from 3 so far, but this is right in front. There's the extra 2 from Jonathan Davis. 16 points to 0. The so-called British underdog is doing pretty well at Wembley. 3 tries to 0.
Well, I just wonder if the gap's too big now for New Zealand to come back with the Great Britain defence has been outstanding, and really New Zealand hasn't shown enough in attack yet. So it could be all over even at this early stage, but they did have a magnificent comeback last week against Wigan. They've shown plenty of character, plenty of spirit. There's a lot of pride in this side, so don't write them off.
Clark, 22 metres out from the Great Britain line. The replacement, Sonny Nicol from the St Helens club, his 3rd Test appearance.
Pretty good impact player to bring on at this stage of the match also, Clarkie.
Carl Harrison. A thoroughly professional performance by this Great Britain team. They've dominated territory and possession. And Daryl Halligan just lost the sight of that ball, or appeared to.
He was coming out of the sun quite strong in that part of the quite difficult to handle for Johnny Devereaux, or for Daryl Halligan.
Devereaux doing the chasing on that occasion. Former Welsh Rugby Union international.
Well, that was a very difficult ball for Morven Edwards to hang on to then. Coming right out of the clouds, an absolute screamer.
Well, it's catch-up football now for the New Zealanders. A 0.
They've got to throw caution to the wind now.
Quentin Pongia. Tawara Nikau. Johnny Lomax, he's left it behind. Sonny Nicol has it, but it's a penalty to New Zealand.
Stripping the ball out. The British club side so far have got away with that particular tactic against the Kiwis because the English referees don't really enforce it. Greg McCullum, a Winfield Cup referee, he knows there was a hand in there. Phil Clark was the culprit, gave it a little bit of a help out.
Halligan finds touch. Freeman, Namu, Brent Stewart ranging wide. Pongia, switch of play to nobody. It's not happening for New Zealand at the moment. Freeman, Namu, Watson. Hero. Freeman backing up well. Taken by Robinson. Kearney. Back to nobody. John Lomax cleans up and takes them on. Looked to offload to his winger. Just couldn't free his hands. Final tackle. Namu into the in goal, but it's too big. A restart from the quarter line, the 20-metre mark.
Not a bad little tackle then, just a little bit too much meat behind it.
.41 test caps for Great Britain, Gary Schofield. Jason Lowry warming up for the New Zealanders. Going to replace Johnny Lomax.
Well, he's had a good game, Johnny Lomax. Really worked hard, been in the thick of things, willing to take the ball up all day, Johnny Lomax. But so is this man, Jason Lowry. Another good, strong front rower. Can make the ball available after he hits and spins at the line. A good, strong defender also.
And a debut for Jason Lowry. Big moment for the Eastern Suburbs front rower.
Okay, come on, lad, come on.
Sonny Nicol.
And again, come on.
Edwards, Schofield.
We haven't seen a chip and chase from Gary Schofield yet, but New Zealand not using a bobby, as they call it over here, or a sweeper in behind the line. That tactic is available for them.
Morven Edwards into the sun again. This time he takes it well. Good chasing though from Paul Newlove. And there is a little knock on in there. Morven Edwards' expression tells a story for New Zealand today.
It's not going to be New Zealand's day by the look of it. But they have looked more dangerous in the last 5 minutes when they've been moving the ball out. Kevin Iro running down the left centre looks far more dangerous than he was earlier in the first half, where he couldn't really get involved in the game at all down the right side.
Gary Schofield taken by Gene Namu. 20 metres out. Great Britain 16, New Zealand 0. After, in the curtain raiser, the junior Kiwis beat the Great Britain juniors 30-22. Sonny Nicol. Great Britain looking to well and truly wrap it up. Harrison, 8 metres out. Jonathan Davis, the field goal from right in front. He doesn't miss them from there. And another one to the tally. Great Britain 17, New Zealand 0.
Great kick from Jonathan Davies. Probably kicked a million of them in his career.
Jason Williams, a replacement for New Zealand, replacing Morven Edwards.
I think Howie's done a good thing for Morven there, because Morven was very disappointed with that last knock on.
Jason Robinson.
What an exciting player. But I think Howie's a player, Howie as a former player himself knows confidence plays a big part. And Morven Edwards' confidence was down a little bit, so Howie's given him a rest, put a fresh player on, and a couple of words in Morven's ear will bring him back better and brighter for the next match.
Martin Dermott, Chris Joint, Gary Connolly. Harrison. Final tackle. Edwards, this time it's a kick and chase. Freeman is back there. He's left it behind. This man is dangerous from broken play. Williams. Jason Lowry. Penalty to New Zealand.
Well, the marker's not standing square on, relieving a bit of pressure for New Zealand, enabling them to kick the ball out, gain some cheap yards through the kick, and then try and mount an attack and come and find that elusive try.
The two coaches.
It's the electronic age for coaches now.
Chris Joint being replaced by Richie Ayres.
He's had a good game, Chris Joint. Got a good step, very hard player to contain. He's really caused a lot of trouble for the New Zealand defence.
Back to 6, or 1, another set of 6. Hero, Watson. Jason Williams trying to find a hole up the middle. 20 metres out.
New Zealand do look far more dangerous when they string a few passes together.
Brent Stewart.
Showing the old West Coast side step straight over the top. He's worked hard, Brent Stewart. Had a great game.
Gary Freeman. Dwayne Mann. 1 metre out. Williams at dummy half. Lowry. Good defence from Great Britain. Namu. Freeman. Watson. Nikau. That is the handover. No, it's not. This is the final tackle. Namu. Kearney. Beautiful ball back to Pongia. Kearney. So close.
Great play, New Zealand, trying to string a few passes together, doing it well. Gene Namu heavily involved, but take a bow, the Great Britain defence. That was outstanding.
Robinson. Taken by Hero. Conley. Richie Ayres, the fresh reserve. Dermott. Edwards. Jason Williams in the shadows. 30 metres out from the New Zealand line. Freeman, Namu, Halligan, Mann. The Kiwis have won the opening test in the last 3 series against Great Britain. But have failed to go on and win the series today. It's the opposite. Great Britain have dominated here at Wembley in the history test.
Well, I think Howie's shown some faith in some of the guys out there in the black and white jumpers, but they haven't really performed to their potential today, so Howie will be tempted to make a few changes, I'm sure, coming into the second test match. We do have a lot of good players over here, and I'm sure we'll probably see a number of changes.
Paul Newlove. Sonny Nicol. Great Britain again. Down the right end of the field for them. Connolly.
They're playing great football, Great Britain.
Final tackle. Jonathan Davis, another drop goal. This time it's away to the left. So the score remains 17-0. Kevin Hero. Stewart. Reminder, at the end of the match, we'll have the Ubix MVP points for you. Halligan. Jason Robinson. Another replacement on for Great Britain. Darryl Powell from the Sheffield Eagles, his 22nd Test appearance. Richie Ayres. Dennis Betts. Devereaux. Powell to the halfway line.
Stop his jump.
Betts. Play on. Now it's a knock on.
New Zealand guilty of not playing to the whistle then. Nearly resulted in a try. The ball being shoveled around all over the place. There's no knock-on involved. Gary Schofield chasing it. Gary Freeman was the one player that was aware, was doing his best to try and pick up Schofield from behind, but New Zealand guilty of not playing to the whistle.
Tawaradika replaced by Jason Mackey.
And what a big thrill for the young kid to come on.
All the people from the Takahiwai Club in Northland will be wishing him well. Hongia, 30 metres out.
He's had a great tour. He's a fine young player. And what about that for a run? Well done, Steve Kearney. Good, strong run.
Kick and chase from Namu. Jason Larry's there as well, but Davis beats them all. Gee, Jason Larry, the front rower, showed an amazing turn of speed to be there.
Yeah, it was great support play, but a variation in New Zealand's attack. A little chip and chase. Good play then from Gene Namu, gaining in confidence as this game goes on with every minute. Got all the skills, this kid.
Scrum's going Great Britain's way, as well as the scoreboard. 17-0. Namu. 15 metres out. Ten minutes to go as Zero charges at them.
Gary Freeman did well to hold that ball up. He's had a great game, Gary Freeman. Been New Zealand's best player. Both in defence and attack. He's like a little terrier. He's just everywhere. He's right back to the best that we've ever seen from Gary Freeman. He's in sensational form over here. It's just a pity nothing's working for the Kiwis today. It's just one of those days. Brent Stewart taking the ball up strongly. Looked like it got knocked down then from Phil Clark, but the referee doesn't think so. The all-important spirit that's in this team, Clark, I think is going to play a major role in using New Zealand picking up the pieces after this game, because they have been totally outplayed. They've been outclassed by a very, very professional team. But the spirit that's within this New Zealand camp, and it's full credit to Richard Bolton and Laurie Stubbins and Howie. They've done a fantastic job, as we've both seen, and I'm sure that spirit will really be of great benefit for them as they do pick up the pieces and get ready for the next test match.
Still a tough itinerary ahead of them. St Helens.
There's no easy games left. It's all hard stuff.
Second test at Wigan in a fortnight. It's not often Kevin Ero comes to Wembley and doesn't score a try. Freeman, Namu. Williams, oh, ducked under a head high there from Gary Schofield.
The tackle had to be made. Williams was away. Good little short pass, but a bit of a hospital pass, as opposed to, as Jason Williams would probably think, wouldn't he? But if Schofield didn't make that tackle, Williams was through the gap.
Well, that's been the story of the day. You don't do that on first tackles and win test matches.
Well, obviously Steve Kearney's supposed to be a decoy runner there. That was to be a face ball across in front of Steve Kearney, but just a breakdown in concentration. They've probably done that 100 times at training and it's worked well, but it's just one of those days today. Nothing's working.
Well, Jonathan Davis is working for Great Britain. Chased by Jason Williams. He throws it into Hoppy.
Great run from Jonathan Davies. But Jason Williams did well to keep up with him.
The Kiwis on the counter-attack. Damo caught from behind. Brent Stewart still going forward. The Great Britain side offside. Penalty to New Zealand. Opportunity to thank our tour sponsors, Lime Bread, Air New Zealand, Bell South and Ford. Nice to have your support. The next match coverage on One World of Sport will be the clash with Leeds next Monday morning. 8 days' time. Brent Stewart crunched there. Devereaux in from the wing. And Richie Ayres. Freeman. Kearney. Hong out.
Hand over, lads. Steady. Hand over. Steady with the ball, lads. Steady. Let it go. Grab him up, guys. Come on.
Jason Robinson.
Well, it's been a tough day for New Zealand. You must give full credit to Great Britain. They've been outstanding today, very professional in everything they've done. They looked very relaxed when they came here, and they've all played well. There's not one of them that's had an ordinary game. They've all played very well.
Jason Williams. Freeman. That was a bit unfortunate because some of the Great Britain players were really in the road there from the previous play the ball.
And New Zealand hard done by there because Sean Edwards, a mile offside, put the pass under pressure straight away.
More replacements being made.
Johnny Devereaux, he's had an outstanding game. The last time he played here at Wembley was the World Cup final, and many blamed him for Great Britain's loss because he was the one who ran off. In actual fact, it was a fantastic pass from Kevin Walters that did it.
Alan Tate, the former Scottish Rugby Union international, gets a taste of Wembley again. Great run from Alan Tate. He's only been on the field less than a minute. Jason Williams was there. Freeman's there now. There's the kick and chase. Now Jason Williams Jason Robinson is pouring down on Hoppy, but Hoppy had control of it that time. Sean Edwards, the man of the match. Gary Freeman, a bit of variation. Knock on.
It's that bit of variation that's been lacking throughout the game. New Zealand being very predictable in their style of play, really running too much one out in the first half. I'm sure they'll be going into the second test with a lot more little tricks up their sleeve.
Namu. New Zealand also have Fetu Taiwa on the field. His first taste of internationals, and Sean Hoppy's put it down.
And that's the story of the day. Sean Hoppy keeps control of that ball, and it's 4 points for New Zealand. But that's the story of the day.
Mackie did well to draw the winger Robinson in.
Sean normally eats those balls up. It's just one of those things.
Too many drop passes.
There's a knock on.
It's getting far too late for the New Zealanders, though.
And New Zealand will want to try, even though there's only minutes or seconds left on the clock, they'll want to try. They won't want to be zilch for Great Britain. And Sean Edwards out there, number 7 for Great Britain. He's just screaming at them, zilch them, zilch them.
Hoppy, 18 metres out. Great Britain have it by 17 points to 0 after it was 10-0 at the break. Freeman, Namu, double round. Heaven arrow. That's it. The first ever test match between New Zealand and Great Britain at Wembley Stadium in London has been won by a very professional outfit indeed. Great Britain missing established